Let's make some beet soup inspired by a traditional soup made with beets and other vegetables called borscht. I hope I said that right. Anyways, this is such a healthy and delicious soup, and my version is really different than the traditional version. However, it is perfect for weeknights. It has vegetables, meats, and so much flavor with not a ton of ingredients. So let's get started. So this recipe doesn't use a ton of ingredients. It uses, however, the main star of the show, beets. We've also got some carrots, onions, for your vegetables. And then we've got some other ingredients, Italian sausage that's gonna add so much flavor, some northern beans because I like beans in soup, as well as some chicken broth, sour cream, salt and pepper. All right, let's get to it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is prep my veggies, and I've got some beautiful beets with the leaves on. So we're gonna go ahead and chop those leaves off, but we'll save them for later because you can just saute them. You can also add them, you can add them to the soup if you wanted to. I might do that today. But if you are looking for a recipe for sauteed beets, I have that on the website as well. So I'm just gonna remove these. Oh, and don't forget to wash your vegetables. Really, really good. I'm gonna set these to the side. Oh, there's like a bouquet of flowers. I love you. So I'm gonna start by peeling my beets after I remove those leaves. Oh, and beets are really messy, so you could use gloves, but I just am very careful not to touch my clothes when I'm doing this. And you could probably leave the skins on if you prefer. I just like to give them a quick peeling. So, oops, I've peeled my beets. Oh gosh, okay. I've peeled my beets and my hands are messy. I'm still gonna go ahead and remove some of these root parts, and I'm just gonna give them a rough chop. And I'm gonna chop the rest of my vegetables. Ooh, those carrot tops looked kind of sad. And I'm just gonna give them a rough chop. These carrots are also gonna go in my blender. Put that to the side. Now my onion, I'm not gonna put in the blender. You can if you want to, but I like the texture of them just kind of chopped finely. And the beets and the carrots are gonna be basically turned into like very, very finely chopped, kind of mimicking meat. Look, my onion is red from the beet. Everything's gonna be red. Ah, so funny. So the funny thing about, not funny thing, but the thing about these beets and this beet soup is that it is not only healthy, it is very, very healthy. So the last time I made this for my hubby and I, we ate it for dinner and it was delicious and we loved it so much that we ate it the next day for lunch. Look, I'm trying to tell the story so I don't cry and it's already starting to happen. It's like emotional. But we ate it for lunch and it was so good. And then, oh goodness. And then both of us started getting really lightheaded and we were like, what is going on? And then, we ate a whole bunch of beets in 24 hours. And so it definitely lowered our blood pressure a lot. And I was like, yeah, it's good for you. But I would always just say, understand that beets basically are really good at lowering blood pressure. And if you eat a whole bunch at one time, it could have significant low blood pressure effects. Oh gosh, I thought telling the story would make me not cry. Oh gosh, I gotta go. So now we're gonna add our beets and our carrots to our blender. Need my top. And you want to make sure it's a high power blender or food processor because we are going to blend just these until it's nice and very finely chopped. Come on, blender. Yeah. Let's go, Vitamix. Let's see what you can do. Woo! Woo! Okay, I think that's enough. It's an easier way to get some of those really big chunks. One more toss, and I'm going to do it one more again. I think I got it. Sounds like I might have got it. I think that's good. Oh. Strong blender. All right, and so this is the texture that you pretty much want. It kind of looks like ground beef. Now that we have everything prepped, it is time to cook. So I've got a large pot, a heavy bottom pot is best for this. And I'm gonna turn my oven on, not oven, I'm gonna turn my pan over medium-high heat. That was weird. So my pan has preheated, so I'm gonna go ahead and prep my recipe. So I'm adding some Italian sausage. I'm only adding about half of a pound because this is just to add a little bit of protein and flavor. You can add a full pound if you like. I'm gonna add a little bit more. And I'm gonna save this later for a meatball or two. Because my goal is flavor, but I don't want it to overcrowd the beets. I'm also gonna add in my onions at the same time, because why not? And I'm gonna brown the meat and soften the onions at the same time. So the meat, the pork, the Italian seasoning is pretty much all the seasoning you're gonna need other than salt and pepper at the end. But if you want to add more, you can. But Italian seasoning usually has a lot of seasonings, and I just don't want to overpower the flavor of the beets and the carrot and the onions. So now that I have browned my Italian sausage and my onions have softened, I'm going to take these beets and add it to the pot. They're so red. Yeah, get out. Struggling. There we go. And I'm going to stir this for about a minute just to get those beets kind of roasted a little bit. It looks like it's a bunch of ground beef right now, but it's really beets and sausage and a ton of flavor. Got beet on my lip. I was eating some earlier. All right, so now it's time to add our other ingredients. So I'm gonna add some beans that I've drained and I rinsed these. I made a mess. I'm also gonna add in some chicken broth. Oh, chicken broth came flying through the sky. Just pour that in. Oh, I'm making a mess. Yeah. It's looking good. Oh, sorry. I've got some sprigs of fresh thyme. I'm gonna rinse them off. And I'm pretty sure I said use 2 sprigs, but you should use as many sprigs as your heart desires. I'm gonna use a little bit more. And one thing my mom always did when it came to thyme is like if she was making soup or a pot of beans, she would add them in whole, and then when we were done cooking, she'd take them out. So I'm gonna do the same. Just gonna stir that in. You can see my soup is starting to bubble, but I'm gonna reduce my heat to medium, and then I'm gonna cover it and let it simmer for about 20 minutes. All right, so I'm gonna cover it. Now, side note about the kind of pot that you use. I've had a lot of questions over the years when people are making recipes that require liquid, and sometimes they'll notice that they'll have more liquid that has evaporated, and that is because it depends on the heat, but also the pot. So this pot right here, you'll notice it has a little hole in it. That's gonna allow some of the excess liquid to evaporate, which is gonna give me a little bit less liquid, and it's gonna concentrate those flavors. I have other pots that have no holes at all, which they usually contain all that liquid in there. And I like to use those if I'm gonna have like a longer cook time, if I'm gonna have at least 45 minutes to an hour. But since this is just gonna simmer for 20 minutes, I'm gonna use this pot. And if I open it and there's too much liquid that has evaporated, all you gotta do is just add a little bit liquid to it. All right, I'll be back. All right, so our soup has been simmering for about 20 minutes. Look at all that water. Ooh. And it's looking good. Looking nice and soupy. It's got some heart to it because you've got that those beans and those that meat. And I'm gonna fish out my thyme and take it. I'm actually gonna turn off the stove, and then I'm gonna take out these pieces of thyme. I'm just gonna grab this thyme. I think I got all that flavor out of it. Let's get rid of it. And I'm gonna remove our soup from the heat, and then I'm gonna get ready to plate it up. All right, so our soup is done. Ooh, let's throw this in there. And I'm gonna go ahead and just take a nice big bowl of it. It's nice and warm. Like I made a mess. So I'm also doing this on my wood cutting board because I don't want to stain my white countertops. Oh gosh. Tanya, what are you doing? No miss. That's enough. Oh, that looks good. So I've plated my soup, but I'm not done because you want to make sure it is seasoned with salt and pepper. I forgot to do it in a pot, but I'm going to do it in the individual bowls. Didn't forget. Oh, sorry. Just a little bit, just to give her some flavor. It's a lot of salt and a little bit of pepper. I'm gonna give it a nice plop of sour cream. I like to add a lot of sour cream because borscht is supposed to be kind of sour, and so that sour cream balances it out really, really good. Oh, so before I'm gonna stir in this sour cream. Yummy, yum, yum. It's kind of hot, so. Oh my gosh, that's good. I don't like it. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, it's really good. Anyways, that's it. A pretty simple, easy, straightforward meal. So good, especially if you like beets. And even if you don't like beets. Yeah, I think you'll like this. All right, until the next time, bye. I get to eat my soup. Is the camera still rolling?
I think so. It smells like I'm gonna have a low blood pressure night tonight.
Good. Just throw this inside. I like to rinse off they look kind of gooey.